Hi, good morning, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer coming in to do my channeled messages. This one is for Cancer for December, down to my water signs. You're the last, and you're not normally the last that I do, which is weird. You're usually the ones jumping out, jumping up and just saying, me, choose me first. Um, and you're not. I think there's a great, I think there's some great evolution and evolving happening within those of the water sign. And just like seasons and water goes from a beautiful, a beautiful lake to a frozen lake, and then it becomes another purpose that it can be used for. I feel like for Cancer, that's kind of the energy that I have. So Cancer, those born under the Cancer sign is the message that I'm channeling. This is not a personal reading. It's not to be taken as a personal reading. But if it resonates with you and it makes sense and it just aligns and you're listening to this, then you were divinely guided to this message for a reason. So allow it to sit within your heart and wherever it may work for you. Please remember, it's not to replace any medical, psychological advice you've been given, and that your free will trumps everything, and that you always have your own mind to think for yourself and you have your own heart. Let no one else make your decisions and choices for you. So, what I'm getting for those born under Cancer was that multi-purpose, that whole sense of um I keep getting this song. I got to get this out first. I got this real seriously message, and I'm like, it's such a calm, such a loving like message. It's like, but there's a storm. And I feel like sometimes Cancer, you may be the storm. You're always distracting people away from seeing you, or you're very distractive. Like you're either distracting people, or you're distracting from the truth, or you're it's like not destructive. There's a difference. Dis, Not destructive, distractive. And I feel like sometimes it's through humor. I feel like sometimes it's through the ability to get caught in your own self and your own desires of some sort of insecurity that I have. And I'm lighting my incense here, and I'm lighting my candles for you because I feel a need to. I feel like you've been kind of playing out some energy here that I don't really want in this. Not that I don't want it. The channel is saying, could you get the human? Could you get the human aspect out of here? And I'm like, okay. So let's move the human aspect out, and let's let the incense clear out why it is that you tend to go to the distraction. And so, in that distraction, and you walking into a room, being like trying to be the light, trying to get that attention, or by a way that either could be a way that you try to appear, or the persona that you put out, or the self that you say, this is me. I'm going to say that what I'm getting is that's not all you, because there's such a sense here, and it's like we're being told, gamble on this, keep going with this, gamble on this, is that you're going to have to dive deep. And I keep getting a song, rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. And it's like I'm getting Tina Turner, and I pulled Tina Turner in my last messages as well, and I don't know what sign it was in, but I just was like, I feel the need to also send Tina love, healing. I feel like, and she's one of my biggest idols. I figure skated to Tina Turner when I was a teenager. My love for Tina Turner, she's one of my greatest mentors without her even knowing she's a mentor to me as a woman of empowerment. And I just feel the need to pray and send healing energies out to her constantly. I feel as if I'm picking her up. I feel like I'm picking up her music, her 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 um her ability to change with times, her confidence that wasn't a distraction. It wasn't about her distracting from to get attention. It wasn't about she didn't dress a certain way to get attention. She dressed because she was who she or she is. She is who she is. And there's no way around that. She is who she is. And she had to fight hard to be her. And I'm being told, for some of you, Cancer, that you are not being true or authentic, even though you think you are, because you became something that was of a survival. And so, in your survival, in your lack of sense of feeling like you weren't enough, you created a persona and a story that you lived in. And so now you're being told that there is this. There's a new way to look at things, and the perfection of your life really truly is about, in a storm, you don't see the beauty. So in distraction, when you walk in and you're the storm in a party and you're the energy, people can't see that beauty. So when you are trying to distract from ourselves, no matter what way it is, whether it's a good that we think it's a good way and we think we're being like funny, or that we're frustrating and we're being offensive and we're being an asshole, whichever direction that goes, is that's a sense of insecurity. And that when you can go above and look in and observe from the top and you can see the calm, then you see the beauty. For some reason, I feel like for some of my cancers, you are always distracting from allowing people to see your true truth, to see the true vulnerability. And vulnerability is not the anger. Vulnerability is the love. It is the softness. And I feel like the sense of that there's this desire to be like the queen or the king in the relationship, in the environment, wanting to still have to be in control. And I feel like for this, I'm pulling my card back out that I just put over there, is that there's a sense that you can't stop a storm when it's in full rage, right? It's like once you start, why do we act that way? What is our insecurity? What is it we are actually scared of when we walk into a room, into a place? What is it that we're distracting from? And so when that energy is coming up for me, I'm getting returned to an essence of all the other relationships that would have been in your life. And so for Cancer for December, it's truly about exploring the relationships. It's about looking at the relationship with self. It's about looking at the essence of finding some sort of balance, and the power of attraction is coming up for me. And this is truly that when you learn, when you dive deep enough into the depth of our darkness, into our shadow self, into our personas and the mask, and you move beyond the illusions that there's nothing wrong with me. I love who I am. This is exactly who I am. That if you go beyond loving who you are, if you go even deeper than that, you're loving the person that you created. You're loving the person that you made come forward. But what if you could go back to loving the person that just was? And the moment we can return to the person that just was, then that's the moment of finding your true truth. In finding that experience, in finding that person, you truly are then going to be open to accepting and receiving healthy love, healthy relationships. Because now and then you will be starting to step into a healthy relationship with self. Tina fought to be just herself because that was actually the problem in a relationship. And what if who you were before you had to start becoming enough was already enough? What if that was it? But the roles and how we sit within the family dynamic, the placement, the wanting to get our own way, the wanting our wants met, to wanting to play on the game of need, to wanting to be given the attention, to all of that, you're being told to look beyond that right now. And there is a sense that this message is very heaven sent, because that storm that you keep getting yourself caught in, and where you are right now, is an opportunity to shed all of that, because there is a beautiful white light energy in here today. And I want to say also beautiful Gabrielle looking in here with us. And so, to the eyes of beauty, sometimes when you look into the eyes of beauty and you try to recreate the beauty that you think you see, you are constantly developing a false sense of beauty, because what you think is attractive about another, what you think is getting them the attention, may not be what you are actually seeing. Because sometimes it's that sense of confidence, just like all the other things that we are built with, our compass, our sense of knowing, all the things that we arrive with are still actively alive in us. And when we stop trying to make it happen, when we stop trying to achieve it, when we stop trying to distract, when we stop trying to push this energy, and we start to sit into a sense of, I am just who I am. Might be a tomboy, it might be weird, it might be a little wacky, but I don't need to act up in public, and I don't need to act a certain way, and I don't need to distract people from seeing my truth. There's a beautiful opportunity coming up for you, Cancer. And I feel like you may you may have to sit back and witness somebody else receiving, and you get to watch. But when you can watch with absolute love, and not a and not be envious of something, I feel like this is now the opportunity for you then to truly understand that, what if you are next? What if there's something for you? What if there's this beautiful, beautiful power of attraction, this beautiful love energy that gives you the freedom to live just a free life, just to be free, just to explore, to travel, to enjoy life with somebody? What if there's something beautiful that finally lets you have total freedom to not be obligated to anything, that you do not have to act in a certain way, and to remember that all parts of you and who you are is truly like water, is that you have beautiful purpose always, and you don't need to distract from that. You have purpose in all seasons, in all elements, in all energy, and you are needed, and you are wanted, and you don't need to fight for that. And allowing that energy to now sit in, and to find yourself in the calm as we're in the deep freeze, if you're in Alberta, Canada, or anywhere where it's really cold. And as the water freezes over, the enjoyment, the laughter, those things that people have to work a little bit harder to get to what's at the bottom of that water, to get through that ice. But the laughter, the joy, the come together that comes, I think that in the deep freeze is when you'll find your true happiness. So you may have to work a little bit harder to get to the water. You may have to work a little bit harder to get to the truth of your heart. You may have to work a little bit harder to the why, to some of our why we have these masks and why we behave how we behave. But trust me, you are truly now diving into a time in this December, going into the new year, that even though there's storms, that your job, your opportunities will come by diving deep and finding your light of truth that is actually deeper hidden than what you may think it is. And there's such a joy and happiness to be in the presence of a Cancer energy who truly is operating from their highest good, from their healthiest self, and being true and authentic to who they are. And I feel like this is a big, massive healing for those born under the Cancer sign. I hope this resonates with you. I hope it sits somewhere within your heart and in your soul. And much love to you all. And thank you. Have a beautiful December. Much love.